Hey, gaming community. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Fun with Hoplite Evolved. My name is Eagle Eye.
And this is Noble. Welcome to the podcast.
So, Noble, we have decided that we are going to do things a little differently this week, haven't we?
Yep.
We're going to start it off with Hot Take of the Week.
All right.
So here we go. Hot take from me. The original Modern Warfare 2 lobbies were better than anything, absolutely anything you're going to play in multiplayer now.
Man, that is a hot take.
Dude, I'm telling you, those lobbies were fire. Absolute amazing. I really wish that they still had that kind of lobby today, but they really don't, man.
So what was your favorite thing about it?
The fact that you could say and be just toxic, and it was hilarious because everyone was doing it. It was just like utter troll, just going and going and going. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember stakes being super high because you were talking so much trash in game, like in between, like S&D or what have you.
Yeah.
And the noob tubing was toxic. The intervention was toxic.
Oh my God, intervention quick scopes, bro. Oh no, don't bring that up to me.
Yes, dude.
I think there was once, the only time I almost got a nuke, I was at 24 kills, needed one more, and I got intervention quick scoped. I was so upset, man.
That is the worst way to go.
It really is. But those lobbies, man, those things were fire. And I don't think you're ever going to replicate that in gaming now. There's just no way.
Not even in something like Fortnite or something like new, like the Battle Royales or anything?
God, no. I mean, people can talk smack and whatnot, but it's just not going to be that same level. And I think the other thing there was, it was like a mutual agreement between everyone that just wasn't written down, you know? Everyone was just like, hey, we're just going to talk smack to each other and not care because it's all fun.
Right. I hate you because you're on the opposite team. You hate me because I'm on the opposite team.
But next game we're together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of awkward, but you got to keep going from there.
Exactly, dude. All right. What is your hot take of the week?
So kind of old school like yours. Like I believe the golden age of gaming is over. So it's only going to go downhill from here.
All right. Why do you think that?
Like, if you think about it, in the past, we had the things like that had the whole community together. We had midnight releases, all kinds of things like you were saying with the MW2 lobbies. That was so much fun. Like all the compilation videos and everything.
Right.
At like the height of like YouTube and all that good stuff. And now there's just, it's like loot crates. Like, I feel like no games come out like fully like 100% complete at launch. There's always something wrong with it or something missing.
Absolutely. So I agree with you for the most part. I really do. And actually, my buddy Joel hit me with a question this week, and I think this is the perfect time to throw it into our podcast. So the question is, do you believe that the Battle Pass era is really like deteriorating gaming? And do you actually believe that the Battle Pass era is going to continue or it's going to fail?
You know what? I think it's going to continue until they stop making money off of it. So I think it'll continue for a while. But I think I despise the Battle Pass thing. Like, absolutely. As much as I love Halo, Jarrett, and you know this about me, like I'm all about Halo.
Yeah.
I did the first Battle Pass for Season 1 in Halo Infinite. Never again. To me, it's not worth it. It gets too expensive. People are too greedy for just cosmetic stuff. And I don't want to do any kind of pay to win. So for me, I'm over it.
I agree with you. And I brought this up with Joel. And one of the things that he had mentioned was the grind, right? So the games are free to play, but the grind to get that stuff is intense.
Right.
And I mentioned to Joel, one of my biggest ideas here was that the grind to get the reward is not worth it. So the cost to benefit ratio is awful, right?
That's a great point.
You need more reward for the amount of grind or less grind for that reward. You know, I don't think they found that balance. And I think that that's really what's hitting them hard right now.
Right. And I say that, but then I remember I go back to Halo Reach and how that was done. And it was kind of like a precursor to maybe like a Battle Pass.
Yeah.
But it was just like in-game XP, right? And then you unlocked cooler and cooler stuff as the more you played the game.
Right.
And it had like weekly challenges and things. That was fun.
Right.
But that was also because everybody was on the same foot. Like nobody was Nobody was like buying their way into like cooler stuff. Like everyone had to play the game, and it was like a status symbol. Like, oh, this person has like this specific helmet or whatever. So they've played a ton.
Right.
You had to earn achieved a lot. Yes, exactly. So that was different.
But the value that was placed on the items you had to earn was up there. You know, It was actually cool and worth it compared to what you get now. It's just like, did you see some of the new Halo helmets that I think Bub sent us or was talking or something? Oh my God, they're disgusting. They look disgusting, bro.
I'm like, want to know.
No, I don't think you do. I think it was a video and I looked at it and I was like, man, get this out of here and get me something better. This is worthless.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw that brute shotgun and the concept is kind of cool, but man, does it look ugly.
I will say I am excited to see the knockback concept. I want to see how they play that because I think that can be a game changer in multiplayer and in the Pro League. I really do. That is going to be a controlled weapon for sure.
For sure. I feel like they'll try to ban it in Pro League, though.
I think they'll ban it at first until they get a good play style, or not play style, but like a good beta test, essentially, of it in multiplayer and see how people use it, see how powerful it is. You know, they're going to have to balance the heck out of it because that thing, if it's half as good as it looks and sounds, it's a game changer.
Heard that for sure.
So, all right, hot takes of the week are over. So we're going to jump into some gaming news. We just want to go over 4 releases that we saw for this week. The first one that I saw was on PlayStation VR 2, they're releasing Resident Evil Village. That sounds kind of cool. I don't know if I'd want to play that on a VR, though. Because
I might be too scared.
That's what I was going to say. I might be too scared. I might poop myself.
Or smash the wall on accident or something.
Oh, man. Oh, no. I could see that happening. Break a TV just because you're throwing things.
Yeah.
Next, I saw NFL Pro VR 2. I could definitely see some remotes getting thrown on that on accident.
Oh, yeah.
I was just throwing a Hail Mary.
Trying to beat Tom Brady. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I saw a cool-looking game called Atomic Heart coming out on all consoles this week.
All right.
And then the last one I saw was another cool-looking game. It's called Like a Dragon Ishin. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I terribly apologize. But it's also coming out on all consoles. It looked kind of cool, so I wanted to mention it on here. So, all right, B, we're going to start with our next topic is what are we playing this week? What do you got, bud?
So, I mean, of course, with, working full time, I haven't had a lot of time to play this week.
Right.
But mostly I've been playing Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that I fall back to just whenever I don't have much else to play.
It's like your comfort, right?
Right. It's my comfort, but it also makes me very angry and I rage and I just quit.
That's me with Siege.
Yes, exactly. But for some reason I'm addicted and I go back to it even though I complain about it all the time.
Right.
But I've been playing that. And then I was also able to play a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy after work last night to kind of just wind down. So I played a couple hours of that.
Yeah.
That one is like my relaxing game. I get to kind of explore and do stuff at my own pace. So
I was thinking the same.
Kind of relax.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy has been kind of a relaxing game for me too. Yeah. I do enjoy that. And Halo. So, what did anything funny happen during Halo? I know I got a clip that I made that we're going to be posting. That's you getting. Someone must have turned a corner and you screamed bloody murder and you hit him with a rock as you took him with you and you said, "I just suicided."
Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time to me. And then the other thing is always like me. I have like heat-seeking grenades towards teammates.
Yeah,
so I'll just throw 2 nades out and they somehow kill a teammate or you or Bub.
But yeah, you hit me with a skewer in the head.
Yeah. Was that once or twice?
I think you've done it twice at this point.
So sorry.
It's fun. It's hilarious, man.
And I don't even mean to, which is the sad part.
Right. You're just going for it.
Yeah.
I think I've killed Bub. I think this a couple weeks ago, I killed Bub once. He killed me once. We just go into town on each other with rocks.
Fair enough. I mean, Bub deserves it though. Half the time.
Half the time he does. You better be careful. He's going to jump on here. He's going to come through the phone.
I'm gonna get it next time we play together.
Yeah, you are. So this week I was also playing some Halo Infinite multiplayer with you and Bub.
Mm-hmm.
and I really didn't play much other than that. We played a little bit of Modern Warfare 2, but I was really going for the Shipment game mode because I just love playing Shipment. Right. I also like Shoot House, but Bub hates that one, so we don't touch it. But they got rid of the 24-hour Shipment. I was like, why would you get rid of that? I mean, that was glory.
So it's like Shipment and Shoot House now?
Now it's neither. You get none.
Oh, wow.
Also, I wanted to bring that up since we're on the topic. So they said this new map that they dropped, and it's not a bad map from what I played. It was pretty solid. But they were like, oh, yeah, this is a small map. I'm like, bruh, this map ain't small. This is medium to large. Like, have you seen small? Have you played, what was my favorite? It was the ship map on the original Modern Warfare, Wetworks.
Okay.
I thought that map was like small to medium level, and this new map is like 2 to 3 times that size, I swear.
Really?
At least it felt that way to me. I cannot understand how they think that's a small map. But also, I'm used to Shipment.
Yeah, Shipment
that map's like 5 feet.
Which is relatively small.
Right.
That's interesting.
I was hoping to get into some Hogwarts Legacy this week, but I did a lot of studying, trying to take a test and move up in my career, and then doing the video editing for us this week just took up some time, and it happens, man.
Well, I definitely appreciate that, though.
Hey, that's what we're here to have some fun. And actually, video editing is fun. It's time consuming. And right now, the most time consuming part is learning new things or taking the time to watch through all the footage and find the good clips or what you think can be a good clip, But what I think is good and what other people think is good is probably 2 different things. So, we're just playing it by ear.
All perspective.
Yeah. All right. We're going to jump into our next segment, and this is another new one for us. We're calling it Weekly Gas or Trash. So essentially, what this is we're going to take 5 video games, and I just made a list of 5 this week, and we're going to say either gas, which means, yes, we like the game, and we would definitely continue talking about it, or trash, no, get this game the heck out of here.
Heard that.
What's the old saying on Full House? Cut it out.
Cut it out.
So, all right, first game we got here for gas or trash, B. GoldenEye 007.
I'm going to go with gas here.
Yeah? Why?
What you got? I mean, I feel like it's like the OG like FPS kind of thing. Of course, it's James Bond, so it's super cool.
Right.
They actually added a bunch of like James Bond videos to HBO Max.
Oh.
So I watched like one of the old ones earlier today.
Who's the best Bond?
Oh, man. I'm a little biased here, and this is definitely, it should be included in our hot takes here, but it's Pierce Brosnan. But that's
actually,
because,
I don't think you're biased. I think a lot of people think he's one of the best Bonds.
Awesome. Yeah, because I grew up on him. Like, he was my first Bond that I watched, so he's my favorite. But Daniel Craig's up there.
I was going to say, I think I like Daniel Craig's a little bit better.
That's understandable.
But that's because I've watched all of Daniel Craig's. I don't think I've seen all of Pierce Brosnan's.
Really?
Now, that being said, I also have not fully watched all of Sean Connery's Bonds.
They're good, but I mean, it's all campy and kind of, you have to like take it into like perspective of like the time frame they were made in.
And that's fair. That's very fair. But I do not think that's a hot take. I think that is common. But hey, if I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know.
Yeah, but I mean, Pierce Brosnan was in the GoldenEye 007 too, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was the game. Because GoldenEye was his movie, and that is what the game was made after. And actually, I'm with you on this one. I'm definitely going to say gas as well.
Good.
This is, I'm with you. It was the OG. Like, you get the golden gun, you get 4 controllers on the N64. Yeah. Everyone's got a little corner. Don't be screen peeking on me, man. I got this. Man. No, we ain't playing that. Those are some good times, dude.
Absolutely.
So, second game on the list, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, number 2.
I'm going to go with gas, even though I haven't really played this one, but I know Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the whole series is beloved by like everyone.
That's
Maybe
true.
You can get some more insight into this here.
So I actually used to play a lot of this game. This was one of my most played games when I was younger. I actually am gassing this one as well. I think that this is a great game. This was probably my favorite of the Pro Skaters. I did like 1, but I think after 2, it kind of dropped off as well. But yes, definitely a gas. This was one of the biggest Tony Hawk games that I remember. I know there was a couple after it that I think were released and a lot of people went crazy over, but I think that this one was like the game you look at for Tony Hawk.
Was that one released on PS1 or PS2?
I want to say PS1.
Yeah,
because I think it was the original Xbox, the PS1, and I think it was Nintendo 64.
Wow, that's old school, man.
I'm gonna have to look that up later after this.
Absolutely.
All right, next game, Pokemon Ruby.
I'm gonna go ahead and say gas here again. I mean, I haven't really played a whole lot, but I know like anytime I've played Pokemon, they're relatively like the same, like between all the colors, I feel like. And they're always like a good time.
So to me, this one, I'm actually going to trash it. I really am.
Really?
Because I felt the best Pokemon was before this version. And
okay, so it didn't live up.
To me, it didn't live up. But also, I think they've had some decent ones after.
Okay.
But I think this was one of the ones I know I've played quite a bit of, and I just didn't care for it. I played it because it was Pokemon. It gave me a little bit of that fun of leveling up, evolving, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I'm definitely sticking to trash on this one, and I definitely bet that's a hot take.
Yeah, our old friend Ryan, he's probably be super upset if he heard you say that.
Don't tell Ryan, man. He gonna get after me
for sure.
All right, next of the list is Call of Duty 1, the original, the OG.
Man, that's a tough one for me, but I'm going to go trash.
Oh!
I'm going to go trash here.
I got to hear it. I got to hear why.
Well, just because I feel like the ones after, there's been a lot better. And it also started Call of Duty as a franchise, which we can jokingly hate on as a whole.
That's true.
So for those reasons, it's trash. But I mean, there's way better multiplayers out there. I do kind of pay homage for like starting everything.
Yeah.
In the Call of Duty franchise. But I mean, if you just take it, try and play that versus like any other campaign in the Call of Duty franchises and any other multiplayer in the franchise, it'll be knocked out.
So
like if you
think
put them head to head.
I think you got a point there, but I'm going to politely disagree. I believe in gas on this one.
Gas.
And I like this game. I really did. The campaign was great. I didn't play the multiplayer to this. Let me just clarify that. Okay. I strictly played this for the campaign. Back in the day, I used to love the World War II campaigns. So this was huge for me, and I had a lot of fun playing this. And I did think that 2 was better, and I think 3 was better, but I did still enjoy this game, and I felt it was really good. And like you said, unfortunately, it did start the franchise, and jokingly, we hate the franchise, right? But I think we've just hate what it's become. I think we used to love the franchise, but I think that they went after too much money on it. I think they were just trying to force things down our throats, and I think that they trying to release a game every single year, and it just felt like a reskin to me. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
All right. Final game. Yeah, final game. Gas or trash. Madden NFL 22.
Well, speaking of reskins, I'm going to go with trash.
Okay, I fully agree with you here, but I got to know, is there any reason as to why?
Well, I know my brother will disagree solely because of the franchise part of it.
Yeah.
But that's all he plays. Like, if you played anything else, it's the same game that's been made, however many different times. And, like, we played it all. There's not enough, like, upgrades to justify, $65, $70,
you get a roster update.
Yeah, you get a roster update. And that's all it's become. And, again, it's kind of like, it's like a greedy thing, like, for me. Like,
yeah.
And so it makes it less enjoyable.
To me, I think I trash it because I've played a total of like 30 to 45 minutes of the game, and I was just like, this is just a reskin. I don't need to sit here and waste my time on this.
Yep. Because
one of the things I've learned is that people just break the game and call plays that just you can't defeat, and to me, that's not the point of football. I want to sit there and play and have to be strategic and that kind of thing. And you can just break the game essentially and just call plays that, all Madden can't block and defend against, or and you just win. I don't like that. And I think that's why I've fallen off of Madden in the recent years. It used to be I had to have every one.
Right. Same here. Especially whenever I was in high school.
Right. Same. So next we're going to go into our next topic, which is how gaming relates to business. And the reason we're doing this topic is because you and I both are managers and have been managers for many years. And we think that there's quite a value to gaming and relating to business. Now, just because there's a value doesn't mean there's not a downside as well.
Right.
You know, you get really good things, but you can also get some negative things. So we want to just talk a little bit about how management sees different things of gamers and what we like, what we dislike, that kind of thing. Right.
Right.
So this week I want to bring up a topic that I feel it's very important in your work and in life.
Okay.
And that's a skill you really learn in gaming, especially in like RPG games. And that's problem solving. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
So problem solving is huge at work. You have to be able to think on your feet, especially in all industries. Like I've worked in food service, I've worked in manufacturing, I've worked in customer service, I've worked everywhere. Right. And problem solving happens in every single stage of every single business. The question is do you do it or do you care to do it? Now that's one of the big factors there is you have to show that care, right?
Right.
But what managers tend to look for are the people that can problem solve and that choose to do so even when not prompted. So you and I can both agree that we've looked in the past for people and we've been like, hey, I like that person for a promotion because they think fast on their feet, they're able to solve problems, they come to good conclusions, and you know they show they care. Now, also don't let that discourage you if you try to problem solve and you get a bad solution, because management still looks at that and still says, yes, I still want that person. Even if they had the wrong decision, they still showed that they tried. Right. And they showed that they have the ability to work to solve a problem, even if they don't get the exact right answer, right?
Yeah, because that part is completely coachable. A lot of the problem solving stuff and just like the willingness is not necessarily something you can really like teach. It's that want to, right? That's what you're saying, and then the video games kind of introduce that into your like daily life is like you're learning, and it's great for kids like. In education, like problem solving, like, you know, for instance, like the Hogwarts Legacy, those like vault doors that had like the little like puzzle. You
we made a video on that, by the way.
Yes, a little tutorial video too. For those of you who don't know how to get in there yet, you can look those up.
It's on YouTube.
Yep, on YouTube. But like any kind of like puzzles or strategy and just trying to find out solutions again. On your own and being a little bit independent is definitely great for the business aspect side of things. Thinking outside of the box to find a solution to make every party happy.
Absolutely,
great deal.
And it does. And thinking outside the box, I think, is the real big thing. There is that it helps spark that creativity of different ways to solve problems. Now, I think you really find this when you jump from game to game versus if you play the same game repetitively, right? Because you can just solve a problem in a game, but let's be real. It's kind of like when you listen to a band and you've listened to their new album every time they've dropped it for 6 albums, you start to tell that they have a style and a feel, right? All their stuff starts to sound the same. To me, it's 3 Days Grace. That just, it just pops to my head. Their stuff sounded the same until they changed their lead singer.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens in video games. So you continue to play Fallout 4. You're going to continue to see how they do problems and you know exactly how to solve them, even if you haven't solved them yet. But when you jump from Fallout 4 to Hogwarts Legacy to Skyrim, you start to see different ways that you have to think to solve these problems. Right. And another side of that is also different styles of problems to solve as far as games go. So when you solve problems in RPGs versus when you have to solve a problem in a first-person shooter. Right. Because let's be real, Call of Duty is ridiculous if you're playing on the hardest setting and the enemies just never stop. And, but another side of that is you learn problem solving, but you also kind of learn the grit, so to speak, of continuing, because how many times do you have to get it wrong to get it right and keep moving forward?
It's a great point.
So that's a topic we're going to discuss in another time, but I want to say how it relates right there.
Sure.
So, all right. We're going to end this with our monthly discussion. So we have now a monthly discussion where we do 4 different topics once a month. Okay. This week for the monthly discussion, we're doing video game character battles. So I'm going to give you 2 video game characters and you're going to tell me who you think's going to win and who you think's going to lose. Okay.
Okay.
First one's my boy, Marcus Fenix. Okay.
All right.
The second one is probably everyone else's boy, Captain Price.
Ooh.
So I think I tried to keep it fair because, you can't have like Marcus versus Master Chief. Like, let's be real, Master Chief just blow him out the water. But these two are both battle hardened and battle experienced leaders, right? And I feel like they both have a ton of combat experience, different settings, different universes, right? So I think it's a good debate. So who do you think comes out on top?
Well, I got some questions first. So,
all right, let's start questions.
Are we doing like even gear, like even weapons, that kind of thing, or like just hand to hand, or?
I don't want to do hand to hand because I think that both of these guys are proficient with weaponry. So I want to say the gear will be relatively even. To the point of like Marcus may be used to one gear and Price may be used to another, but their stats would be even as far as gear goes. Okay?
Gotcha.
You can include hand-to-hand combat in your discussion if you want. And then I would also say that you're going to get neither of them have a team. They're not leading a team. This is one versus the other.
1v1. Gotcha.
1v1.
That definitely makes it interesting.
It does, doesn't it?
I feel like I know who you're going to pick, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to say Captain Price.
Okay, so why do you think Captain Price?
Okay, so for one, Captain Price definitely has like more experience facing other humans.
Okay.
Whereas Marcus faced like the Locust, kind of like an alien race kind of thing.
To an extent,
Captain Price like knows like how to face and combat against other humans. So I feel like he may have an edge there. Let me see what he's definitely. I would say maybe a little bit older than Marcus Fenix.
So they might be about the same age, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say like maybe he has a little bit more of like that battle hardened experience,
right?
Just from like his age, but that could also be kind of like a weakness as well. As far as like the build goes, I feel Marcus Fenix has him on like musculature and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
but I feel like Captain Price really is like an agile kind of fighter, and very stealthy.
That's true,
as you can see from all those like sniping missions and different things like that.
That's very true.
Very stealthy and agile, kind of in the shadows, kind of person.
Okay, I think all those are fair points. What it's going to come down to me is I think you're right. So you're onto something there with Fenix has the build and Fenix has the muscle. You said Price has the agility. I also would make a statement Price beats him hand to hand because of Price's I think Price has more hand to hand combat knowledge. So, martial arts or whatever. I think he would win that fight outright as far as that goes, unless Fenix can overpower him.
Right.
I think tactically is what I get to. And I think Marcus is the better tactic person.
Okay.
I think Price is great and fantastic. But I think that Marcus had to deal with a lot of different kinds of tactics. Price has had to deal with humans, right? And just just things in your face. You kind of have to deal with how it could go awry, right? Marcus had to literally deal with enemies popping up all around him during his combat. And I think that he had to learn a better skill set of how to tactically be in an advantage at all points in his combat.
Right.
So I think if I look at it that way, but also remember I'm biased. I think tactically Marcus wins. I think hand-to-hand Price wins. And I think overall, if you put the two together, or if you put the two combating each other, I think Fenix takes it because of tactics.
Okay.
Now,
That's
I want to throw
solid point.
I want to throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
Give them both a team.
Oof. Well, to your point, like Captain Price is a very strategic person, and I feel like his plans are good, and he has great battle IQ, but they are really planned out in advance.
Right.
Whereas you were saying Marcus Fenix really has to think on his toes. I think if you give them a team, God, man, this is a great 1v1.
Isn't it?
I think if you give them a team, I'm still going to say Captain Price.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Captain Price.
And that's fair. So it's basically like how Batman wins if he has prep time, right?
Yes, exactly. Or, if you add Ghost into the frame as part of the team.
Oh, no. I actually almost put Ghost instead of Captain Price. I just want you to know that.
Either one.
I still think Fenix takes it with a team, but again, that is for the tactic point.
Right.
But if you want to take all else out and you put Fenix versus Price 1-on-1 hand-to-hand combat, maybe a knife, I think Price takes it. But I think out of those three, I give it to Fenix twice out of 3 times.
Again, that's a fair assessment. I feel like it's very close, like pretty much 50-50. And again, like how much prep time do we have?
Right.
And then, if it's an arm wrestling match, Marcus Fenix is definitely going to win, 10 out of 10 times.
10 out of 10, if not 12 out of 10. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Very solid points, though. You could go with either.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that's the point. That's the fun of it.
Right.
We want to bring something in there that's going to spark people to think and to come at us and say, no, man, you didn't think about this point. And I promise there are points we did not think about.
Exactly.
But that's why we're doing this here. And we want to spark that conversation. We want to bring everyone into the fun of gaming besides logging in and grinding multiplayer for 20 hours,
Right.
So that is all we got for today. Everyone, I hope you guys had fun with us this time around. We wanted to change it up. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, keep gaming and keep having fun.
You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.